Idle hopes in his sights, the Greek freak sits down with Woj to reveal the origins of his incredible work ethic and his coach's desperate measures to give him a day off. Know Greece as mythology and philosophy. Most visit Greece for beaches and architecture. Just over 10 years ago, as Athens tourists visited ancient wonders like the Acropolis and the Parthenon, they could have bought a souvenir from a future NBA freak. As a young child, Giannis Antetokounmpo worked selling trinkets and sunglasses to help feed his family. That time has motivated him from the streets to NBA superstar. Woj met with Giannis for more on the results of his commitment.
Here comes showtime. Antetokounmpo! Wow, what a play by Giannis.
Giannis, since Mike Budenholzer became head coach, he's instituted lockout days meant to essentially keep players out of the practice facility, a lot of it targeted at you for you to be able to get your rest. Has that worked on you?
No, it definitely hasn't worked. I always find ways to sneak in here. I'll find ways to get my work in because I try to always get better.
Work habits set a terrific example for every other player.
When you're not working, do you start to think about, I wonder if James Harden's in the gym right now? I wonder if LeBron James is in the gym, the people you have to compete against. Is that what you start thinking about?
Yeah, definitely. I always think about the best players and what the best players in this league do. I saw a clip of James Harden after the game working out, and definitely when you see something like that, I want to do more. I want to get to that level, that James Harden level, you know, that he enabled to go out there, score 61 points, and still go back to the gym and have the mentality to get better. If he does it, I'm going to try to do even more.
When you were selling sunglasses, the trinkets on the sidewalk in Athens, what did work mean to you, the kind of work you first were brought up on?
You know, like it started like, you know, when we're practicing and we're done practicing, usually, you know, work a little bit more and people look at me crazy and say like, you know, why are you working more? Because it's a habit that I have since I was a little kid, you know, because back in the day we had to work until we sold something, until we was able to have money to buy a plate of food, you know, to provide that night with, you know, provide ourselves with food that night. And I think it's a habit that I've had since I was a little kid. It came from my parents, you know, saw them working every day. So something that stick with me.
How long were you in the NBA before you would allow yourself to buy first-class airplane tickets back to Greece?
I think the first time I bought a first-class ticket was my 4th year in the league. After I signed my contract, my older brother Giannis told me, okay, it's time. Like, we cannot be a city back coach in the back. He said we got to move up front. And you know, since then, whenever my family flies or we fly, I always try to get them first-class tickets.
Giannis, what are you not willing to change about yourself in this league?
I'm definitely not going to change my personality, change, you know, who I am. I'm not going to change for nobody, and not for the NBA, not for the media, not for anything. I know where I came from. I know where I started from. I know what me and my family have been through. I always joke around with my little brothers because my brothers don't have accents. I'm the only one that have accent when I talk, and they always, you know, joke around, make fun of me that when you're going to change your accent, when you're going to start talking a little bit more, you know, Americanized, and, you know, accent. I'm like, no, this is who I am, you know. I take pride of who I am. I take pride of what my family did, and that's how it's going to be.
There's the mean mug tonight.
A lot of stars in the NBA have a lot of close relationships, very public close relationships with people they compete against. Why don't people see that from you?
I don't know. Was Kobe ever close with his...
Nope.
Yeah, like, was Kevin Garnett ever close with his, the guys he played against?
He wasn't.
Or Jordan?
Giannis. Oh. He said that with his chest.
I think it's just being competitive. If I know that I'm going to play against them and I'm going to see them in the playoffs or I'm going to see them in many more years to come, I try to stay away and not build that relationship because I know that, you know, when I get on the court, I'm going to go 100%. And maybe you know, if I build a relationship with somebody or I'm close to somebody, he probably expects me to go 50% or take it easy on him. But that's, I don't want things holding me back when I go out there to play.
The Greek Freak is something special.
He is the most dominant player in the game today.
How do you think people should judge a most valuable player in the NBA? What's the criteria people should be using?
It's all about winning. It's all about winning. You know, I don't know how the fans are going to judge it, the media is going to judge it, or the NBA, but in my opinion, it's all about winning. It's all about putting your team in a spot that they can be successful.
Like he's got the old school vibes going. Jason, as far as how he's grown as a player, what have you seen?
Just the mental side. You know, I think understanding the process. When he came in, he was probably 180 pounds.
It's crazy.
But as you look at the video, he has muscles now. And so he's growing up and becoming a man. And so just his mentality, his old school way of thinking, working, he's a worker. And, you know, Coach Bud talked about he was trying to, you know, no work day, don't come to the gym. But that's Giannis. He's about working and trying to be the best in the world.
Does that rub off on teammates when you have a work ethic like that?
It can work two ways. You can put pressure on your teammates because they see the best player in the gym every day, so that means they have to come. And so for you to be a successful team, now he's drawing his teammates to, hey, we got to get in some extra work. Meet me here tonight. And so as a leader, I think he's doing all the right things, and you can see that in his season.
He definitely brings an old school mentality to the game. No friends.
I like it.
Who cares? That's how I was. I had no friends in the league, Beads. I'm competing against y'all.
I mean, we could argue.
Maybe I'll see y'all in the summer at the club or something. I don't know. Hey.
I listened to him.
Matter?
I thought we were 20 years ago.
I know.
I thought we were back in the 1990s listening to him. He didn't mention his brand, not one time. He talked about winning, and he doesn't care if everybody likes him. This guy's just into ball. I thought it was 20 years ago listening to that interview.
You saying he didn't mention his brand with such animosity?
Not once. He did not mention his brand, not once.
No brand mentioning. What does it say about the league that, you know, very well could be a non-North American player and will be the face of this league?
It's great. I think it's the best thing that could happen to the league because it just shows the people who've come before us, the coaches, have put in the work going overseas to teach the game of basketball, and now it's finally hit that we have someone that who isn't born here in the States could be the MVP.
Yeah, this definitely is an example of how the game has grown globally. We have so many players internationally in the league now that it's bound to happen one day. I mean, every year you see countries like China, like Greece, like Spain, players are getting better from these other countries. And it's got to happen with the way the game is so global and the players are getting better all over the world that it's bound to happen.
Doesn't seem shocking at all. The whole not wanting to hang out with other guys.
I love it.
Like, I want to go back because I started laughing. Does it matter? Because we do see that some of the champions of today are also buddy-buddy with a lot of other guys. So does it even really affect the game?
Well, no, I'm not saying it affects the game. I just appreciate the attitude. Look, he didn't grow up in the AAU world of our young stars where they all go to these tournaments and hang out and maybe even play on the same AAU team. Then they all get together at the McDonald's game. They play for their clubs, and it's all about winning. Numbers aren't a big thing in Europe because nobody puts up big numbers over there. The games are shorter. The style of play is different. It's all about winning. He was brought up different. I just appreciate it. It doesn't mean it's the best way to go or the only way to go, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad, but when you look at the league, 300-plus players, I only think of two guys like that.
Right. Greek
Freak and Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
I mean, after that, I think everybody all hang out. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. No. It's just that these guys, they carry the most competitive edge in the league, and I would say those two guys are the most competitive in the NBA today.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something with someone's brain.